Core values, they are a representation of our authentic selves. But how many of us even know what those core values are? Welcome to Taproot TV. I'm Benny Hughes, and I'm here today with Barb Carr, our expert on these topics. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. We were having a great conversation earlier about this because,
Yes.
people do, there's your core values and your goals, they can be kind of confusing. What's what? But they both
Yes.
play an important role.
They really do. A lot of people confuse core values with personal goals, but in reality, our core values, our personal goals spring from our core values. So think of your core values as the foundation of your life, and that makes your decisions a lot easier when you're setting your personal goals, basing them on your core values.
And it seems like it would be easy to figure out what your core values are.
It seems that way.
I mean, you think you know yourself, right? I kind of was going through your little test that you have, and I looked at that and I became overwhelmed a little bit at the beginning, but then I could see how it kind of works its way through. How does this work exactly, finding your core values?
Okay, well, finding your core values can be a little bit confusing because we all have people we admire. We have people whose the way they conduct their life we admire very much, so
Yes.
we might try to emulate them. That could be our parents or our mentors or teacher or even a best friend. You know, you see their life and it just looks very appealing to you. So you might adopt some of their core values and not really even know it. You
Right.
have to really make a conscious effort to set your core values. Otherwise, you do adopt other people's core values, which is not in itself a bad thing. Some of them may be core values that you want to keep. But you have to really evaluate, are these my core values or am I adopting core values of people around me?
I think that's the curious part to me is because you you can see things in other people that you would like to emulate, but then maybe there's a conflict in you, and you can feel that probably when maybe it's not lining up with exactly what's inside of you.
Yes, you can find out if you're not, you know, you're not living your core values when you do feel that tension. And as we were talking about before, sometimes you can set some personal goals that sound very exciting, and then when you achieve the goals, it's kind of like, oh, I'm not getting the satisfaction that I
Yeah.
thought I was going to get out of achieving this goal. That means that's a very definite sign that you didn't plan your goals based on your core values. Maybe you were influenced by other things.
Well, and everybody sets goals all the time. I mean, we
Yeah.
set beginning of the year, we set goals. We'll mid-year, we review these goals. We realize, maybe, why is it we haven't done them? Why is it we haven't been working on them?
Yeah.
You kind of can lose your enthusiasm if it's not lining up with what your values really are.
Yeah, I love setting goals, and I know you do too.
Yeah.
Big goal setters here. We really enjoy doing that. But and goals are flexible, like you would. Like as you go through the year, you might have a goal like, well, I'm going to flex on my goal here a little bit and revise a little bit. Core values pretty much stay the same your entire life. They don't really change that much.
Yeah.
Maybe we discover more as we grow and have experiences
course.
what they are.
Yes.
And think that the core values have changed, but maybe we just didn't really uncover them to begin with.
Yeah. And it's kind of like we were saying earlier. It's like, I mean, you're going to feel it inside if it's not
Yes.
lining up with
Yeah.
with what you really believe. I'm kind of going through some stuff right now where I'm revisiting all of this, and I'm like really excited to sit down and go through because you have the little test,
Yeah.
and we can do a link to that.
Yes, we will. We'll put
in
that on the blog.
Exactly. Because it goes through all these words and all the words sound fantastic, and you're like, oh well, I want those to be a part of me, but that doesn't mean that they are.
Right.
I mean, want to and what is are two different things.
That's true. The exercise that we'll have on the blog, it kind of helps you filter through that. At first, it might seem overwhelming when you're just selecting words, literally just selecting words that resonate with you. But then you group the words together and you kind of give it a label that means something to you. And then you prepare a sentence, which is a core value statement that you can keep for reference. You can write them on a whiteboard in your house and put them on the kitchen, refrigerator door, in your planner, whatever, and just keep referring to them every time you make a decision. And then Another thing is sometimes when you are doing your core values and setting your goals, you're kind of chasing happiness.
Right.
But core values brings contentment, and there's a big difference between contentment and happiness, because happiness is fleeting. It's that thing like, oh, I just found a $5 bill on the ground.
Right.
That makes you happy for a minute, but then that feeling goes away. Where if you are solid on your core values and you're looking forward to your life and you're looking back in your life, you just have a feeling of contentment, like, I'm living my life on point. This is awesome.
That's a good way to explain it, because you're right. Happiness is fleeting.
Yes.
It can be a momentary thing that just, and it just is. That's you have 3 important action items to implement once you decide to build your life based on your core values. Like some of the things you were talking about, you want to review them frequently.
Yes.
I can see the importance of that. And like you said, put the sticky notes, put all those kind of things up so you're aware of, that focus for you and the direction you're going.
Yes, absolutely. If you write them down and put them away, then that's not quite as effective.
Right.
You need to constantly remind yourself of what they are, so you can keep it in your very conscious mind.
Life is busy. It really is busy. So you can easily get lost. Don't make a major decision without reflecting on those core values.
Well, a lot of people do.
Yes, they do.
Because you make major decisions because you're getting influence from your family or your friends or the place that you work. You're getting influenced by everybody, and a lot of the people you care a lot about, so you're taking into consideration.
Or is this what you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
Versus what you really truly is lining up with what you want.
Right. That's
like that freedom.
Like freedom, yeah.
Well, we were talking earlier about how on the list of words that we'll give you the link to, what if that word means to you might not have the same meaning to somebody else.
Yes, that's right. When you take a look at our core value exercise, and say, for example, you took the exercise with 3 of your friends, and you all came up with freedom as one of your core values, that can mean something very different to you than it means for the 3 of your friends. But that doesn't make one right or the others wrong. It's your interpretation. So that's how you live it, by your interpretation of that word.
I think that was a good clarification when we were talking about it earlier. You also talk about take inventory daily of small decisions and determine if they fit your core values. That's real important.
Yeah, you can take small decisions like today. One of my core values, my number 1 core value is to live in freedom. So today I was trying to decide what to have for lunch, and so I've been trying to be really careful about what I eat. And I'm going to have something good for lunch because I want to have energy, because energy is for good health, and good health is free. That's one of my definitions of freedom, is staying in good health.
If you're fatigued all the time, you don't feel the freedom to go do those things that you want. It's a bondage.
Yes.
So interesting.
That little tiny decision I made, I put it against my core values, and then it was easy to make that decision because, hey, I like chocolate.
Right.
I would have been glad to have a milkshake or something for lunch, but when I put it in that perspective,
that is
I really want to have
great
energy
perspective.
Today. Yeah.
I'm going to do that today for lunch too.
Great.
I haven't eaten yet, so I'm going to think that exact same way. But it will change your perspective.
It really
and
does.
And it makes you are living more with intention and not just mindlessly.
Yes, a life of intention.
Very important.
Very, very important. Like that book, The Purpose-Filled Life, that was so popular because we all long for that.
Yes, we do.
We all want to have purpose in our life.
We absolutely do.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of a favorite topic at our summit, which is we're working on it being about a year from now. It's June.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of sessions like this at our summit. So, we don't get into this in our normal Taproot training. This is kind of supplemental type stuff that we do. But you know what? I can see how this can line up with, you're getting to the root causes of why you do what you do in life.
It's kind of doing a root cause of your personal life and your values and all of that. So it fits in.
I love it. It's fantastic. Well, we hope you enjoy this, and we want you to go and figure out what your core values are. If you don't know what they are, I've got to go do this because I can see how it can really make a difference.
I'm
in
excited to see yours.
I know. It's going to be, it should be pretty interesting. But I mean, I can see now going when I'm planning my daily life and maybe have those words up there in my
Yeah.
planner. On how I'm going to make decisions that day, the tasks that I'm going to do that day. Am I going to end up at the end of the day feeling drained or fulfilled?
Yeah.
I want to end up being fulfilled.
It also gives you an opportunity to share with people that you love when they say, because you might start changing a little bit.
Yes.
And people will say, well, why are you changing? Why did you make this decision? And you can just say, I want to share with you my core values. And this is where they spring from. I've had those conversations with people close to me, and they're like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Well, and they're learning more about you.
Right.
And so that communication can be so much better when they know that about you. I'm
Sure.
going to take this home and have a few other people take the test as well.
Exciting.
We'll find out. Well, we're going to put some links to this in our comments and in the description so that you can go find out a little bit more about this. I think it'll really help you in your daily lives. That's one of those things that we strive to do, along with helping you have a safer work environment and all higher quality in what you do. We want you to have a higher quality life as well. So that's why, and Barb has a real passion for this. So we're very blessed to have her around here. So, well, thank you, Barb.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it
It
so
was
much.
fun.
And thank you for joining us. If you want more information on this, like I said, we'll put some links below. If you want information on our Taproot courses, go to our webpage at taproot.com/courses, and you can see where all of our courses are around the world. We are gearing up to start some more in June. Now that some things are starting to open up after all the COVID stuff. So we're hoping that'll break free and we can get out there and get to teaching people some more. So just follow us on all of our social media platforms. Subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell to keep up with what we're doing. We appreciate you for being here. Thanks.